Okay, welcome to another Big Strum live in your living room. Welcome for everyone that's come back. Welcome to anyone that's new. Wave, wave, wave. Hello, hello. Just a really quick comment. This might be your first lesson, so we're on to lesson 3 now. If you have missed anything, or if you think that maybe we're moving a little too fast, you can go back, and the whole point is to go back and learn and go onto the YouTube channel, Revoluton Arts, and just practice some of the things we've done. And that's kind of what we're processing, what we're trying to do now. So welcome to the Big Strum. Big hand to everybody. Okay. Just very quickly, I just want to say about tuning. There is a tuning video on the revolutonarts.com/Big Strum website. So if you're still a little bit unsure, there is a whole video where I take you through how to do it using a internet tuner. So if you haven't got a tuner, you can use it like that. That's brilliant. Okay, we need a big shout out to Ridwan. I might have to ask him his name, how to pronounce it. He was with me on Three Counties Radio. So hopefully we all heard that, didn't we? Saturday morning, I was chatting to him on Three Counties Radio. Everybody tuned in really early, 8:45. Nobody tuned in. Anyway, but he was there. He helped us out. So big hand for Ridwan. Where are you? Oh, where is he? Is that highlighting him? He's gone. There he is. Oh no, what just happened? Okay. Fantastic. So let's move on. Let's do this thing. So over to Adam very quickly about the speed of play.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. Great to see so many people back again. This is brilliant. Hopefully loads of people watching on Facebook Live as well. Hopefully everyone listened in to Phil on Three Counties Radio, thought he was amazing and decided to come and join our session. Like he said before, if you are new to this, don't worry. All of our previous lessons are available on Facebook, and they're also available on the Revoluton Arts YouTube channel. So you can go to revolutonarts.com/Big Strum. You can see all of our lessons again. Talking about that, we did get quite a few people in our comments last week who were talking about the speed that we go at, because you might have noticed we're 3 lessons in. We're going to learn a 3rd chord today. We're going pretty quickly. Now, the reason we're going at this sort of speed is because we want to keep it moving. We want to give you something to work on during the week. So whatever we do in today's lesson, if you find that you can't keep up with that, if you're going, we can't do this, we've only just learned how to do this, if you're finding that you're struggling to keep up, then please don't panic. Okay, you can always come back to this lesson and go through it at a much slower speed. We've got half an hour now where we're going to give you an entire week's work. So if you find during the lesson that it all seems a bit too quick and you're not getting it and you're not getting there fast enough, go back. Feel free to pause it. Whenever we're showing you a new chord, when I'm doing this or whatever, you can pause the video at that point when you're watching back later in the week, and you can just stop and really take your time over it. So if you're not getting it today, please don't panic. Okay, there is plenty of time to go back over and look at new stuff. So shall we get started doing some ukulele? Let's go back to Phil.
Let's do it. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're just going to do a really simple trading fours with our newish chord F. So we're just going to do an F, and then I'm going to play an F 4 times, and you're going to play the F back to me. So just ease us in. We're going to remind ourselves how to play an F. So I might be able to get away with it. So we're going to take our first finger and put it on the first fret of the E. So feel your way down. Goats can eat. Then you're going to take your second finger and put it on the second fret of the G, the top string. And then you've got an F chord. So we're just going to trade 4s. So what that means is I'm going to play 4 strums, and then you're going to play 4 back. It's really straightforward. Just a good way to warm us up, get started going. Ready? Here we go. So after 4, 1, 2, me first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you. 2, 3, 4. Now me. 2, 3, 4. And you. 2, 3, 4. And me. 2, 3, 4. And you. 2, 3, 4, and me, 2, 3, 4, and you, 2, 3, 4, and last time for me, you, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looked brilliant. I particularly liked what Tiernan did with the swap into Adam when it was your turn. That was brilliant. Okay, so what we're going to do from there is we need to now, very, very quickly, change between those two chords. So we're going to use Adam's patented changing between chords game. It's not Adam's. I don't know why we're calling it that, but Adam's going to do it.
Full credit for it. It's fine.
Over to Adam.
I'm more than happy to take ownership of this game because it works really well. Okay, we did those of you who were with us last week, we did this last week. All you're going to do is you are going to, oh, my ukulele is disappearing today. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to swap between C and F. Now, I am going to give you loads and loads of time to begin with, and then I'm going to speed up. So it's going to be a C major, and then I'm going to count to 4, and then an F major, and then 4, and then a C major, and then 4, and then an F major. As we go, I'm going to get quicker and quicker and quicker. So I'm going to start very, very slow. By the end, you might find that you just can't keep up. Don't worry, drop out when you get to the point that you can't keep up. Okay, really quickly, reminder of C major. This is the easy one. Hopefully everyone knows this one by now. We're going to start on the A string and we're just going to count along with our ring finger. 1, 2, 3 spaces. You may or may not have a dot on your ukulele. Count along 3 frets, push your finger down nice and hard on that A string. That's your C major. And then the F major, you're going to find the E string. You're going to press nice and hard with your first finger. And then the G string with your second finger for the F. So, starting on a C major, are you ready? 1 C major, and then count to 4, and then an F major. C, 2, ready, go. C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4. 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 I'm out of breath. We're going to have to go on there. Good. Okay. So hopefully you managed to get at least reasonably quickly through that C major, F major exercise, and we're changing chord. Shall we look at the song that we left them to practice last week?
Yes.
Last week we got Phil's patented C to F changing song.
Okay. So I don't know if everybody can see. I'm just going to bring attention to my lovely T-shirt here. Look, Uke, I am your father.
We want to see the full thing. We only need to see the whole thing if it doesn't disappear.
So look, yeah, Uke, I am your father. So we've got a guitar here and a ukulele. It's gone a bit strange with the background, but Uke, I am your father. So there's my funny T-shirt. Right.
That's completely inaccurate. That's not true.
Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do changing C to F. Now remember, if you can't quite get this changed fast enough, just try and move your fingers. If you just play the C's because that's all you can do, that's great. We're all about just joining in, just playing something. It doesn't matter if you're playing everything. Some people will, some people won't. It doesn't matter. It's all about just learning this new skill, and it's going to take different people different times to get this. So if you're just playing the C when it happens, that is great. So here we go. We're going to do C to F. Are you ready? There we go. C major to F. So that leads us nicely now. We've got our C major to F. What we really need now is to learn another chord. There's more chords? Surely not. So over to Adam. New chord.
I like the way you've gone, a new chord, and everyone's gone, no, not another chord, and then you've thrown it straight over to me. I like that. That's just passing the buck there really nicely. Thanks, Phil. Okay, so most songs, most pop songs that you are going to know and you're going to get used to use 3 or more chords. So there's kind of good news and bad news here. The bad news is we've got to learn another chord. We've got to learn a 3rd chord. The good news is that once we've learned this 3rd chord, we're actually going to we're not going to stop teaching you new things, but we're going to pause on the new chords for a while and spend 2, maybe another 3 sessions just on these 3 chords, just to get you used to these. So don't panic if you feel like it's a new chord every week. We are going to stop for a while on this one and just give you some time to learn it. So G major. Now G major is a particularly tricky chord because it uses 3 different fingers. So you've got to try and fit 3 fingers down onto the fingerboard of your ukulele. So let me take you through it 1 finger at a time. You are going to start. Ukulele's disappearing today, doesn't it normally? Okay, can you find the C string of your ukulele? And you're going to put your finger on the 2nd fret of the C string. Notice that's my 1st finger today, my index finger. And I'm going to use that finger on the 2nd fret of the C string. Now there's already a bit of a problem here because that finger is covering over where I need to put my other fingers. So this is the bit where you have to twist your hand round. Now I'm amazed when I'm teaching ukulele how many people find this complicated. It's like, you know, when you put your finger down on a table and then you can kind of twist it round, it's the same movement. So you're going to take your finger, you're going to put it on that 2nd fret of the C string, and then you're going to twist it like that so that it's pointing less towards the ceiling and more towards the sound hole of your ukulele. It won't get all the way there, but if you can get it most of the way there, that's going to really help. Now take your 2nd finger and you're going to put it down on the A string of your ukulele, also in the 2nd fret. Now this is the bit that catches people out. It will feel like these 2 fingers are kind of side by side, and you might notice, can you see the E string, the 3rd string down? Can you see that running down in between my fingers? It's not being touched. I've got 2 fingers, one above the other, and a spare empty string in the middle that's not being touched. You're then going to take your 3rd finger and you're going to put it 1 fret out in front on that empty string, on the E string. So it makes this kind of triangle shape. Shall I run through that again really quickly? 1st finger, 2nd fret of the C string. 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the A string. 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the E string. If you are watching this back later on Facebook or you're watching it back later on YouTube, now might be a good time to pause the video and just have a look at that position so that you can get those fingers down. Okay, Phil, do you want to run us through an exercise?
Okay, here we go. So this is exactly the same exercise we did at the beginning. Yeah, you might find it a little bit harder. You might find it just that little bit more unfamiliar. Just by doing it every day, you'll get better at it. I've just seen somebody in the chat say it's a bit hard, but if you just do it nice and slowly, so 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the C, 2nd finger 2nd fret of the A, 3rd finger on 3rd fret of the E, you're going to get that shape. Any guitarists will know that as a D chord, but it's a G. So here we go. So all we're going to do is I'm going to play trading 4s again, so 4 times, and then 4 with you, and then 4 back, just to get used to this chord. And like all the other chords we've learned, do just feel, make sure you've got all of those notes that you're doing them. You might not be pushing hard enough. If you're pushing hard enough and you're not touching any other strings and your fingers aren't on the metal in any way, you just need to build up your strength, and that's a week. You've got a week to do it, so it will come together. And as Adam said, we're not going to be rushing forward now. We've got these 3 chords. We're going to stay with these 3 chords for a while, just learn a few more things that we can do with them. Okay, so I'm going to do 4, then you're going to do 4. Here we go. Ready? So 4 for me. 1, 2, first me. Then you. 2, 3, 4. Now me. 2, 3, 4. And you. 2, 3, 4. Now me. 2, 3, 4. And you. 2, 3, 4. Now me, 2, 3, 4, and you. 2, 3, 4. Now me, 2, 3, 4, and you. 2, 3, 4, and me, 2, 3, 4, and you. 2, 3. Last time for me, now you. Okay, so that was relatively straightforward. Now I passed it over to Adam before, but I'm going to take the hit this time. So what we need to do is we need to obviously change between these chords. So we're going to ease you in. We're going to start with a change from C to G. Now the way this works is there's a few ways of doing this. The first thing is you've got to start with a C. So first thing is you've got to put your third finger, feel your way down to the bottom, go 3 frets along, and get to the 3rd fret of the A string, and that's your C chord. Then what you're going to do is change to G, which is the chord we've just played. Now there's a few ways of doing this. One way is to take the 3rd finger and move it up to the E string, and then kind of pivot your fingers around that chord, like that, to come back for a G. Now, to be honest, when we do this, you have long enough to take your hand off completely and just build the chord up. So don't worry too much if that whole lifting it up 1 fret and pivoting around feels a bit like hard work. You've got enough time. Now, I forgot to mention, when we do a new chord, the best thing to do, we'll do this now really quickly, is if you play your G chord, get your fingers down on your G. I'm just going to go through the top of the screen and see if I can see anyone with their G's down. Yeah, people have got their G's. Good work. Oh, look at this. It's a whole gallery of G's. That's fantastic. So what's a really good thing to practice is to put your G down, give me a wave, and then put it back again. And doing that will just get you thinking about where your fingers need to go. And so if we think about our old waiting for the kettle to boil again, you can just get your G, put your fingers down, just do a G. You can do that. These are the sort of things you can practice in front of the telly because you don't need to even push down. You can just take your finger off, put them down. You don't need to strum. So just sitting there with the ukulele, you're gonna practice it loads. So what we're gonna do is we've written some little tunes, and they're called chord workouts. And essentially what it is a song that changes from C to G. They're really basic songs, but you'll see on the screen that it's going to flash up those chords, and it starts with a C. So we're going to try that now. So here we go.
While Phil's setting that up, don't worry about the speed that it's changing at. You'll notice on the screen it says C or F. It will be green. You've got all the time that's highlighted green to play that chord. It might feel like you're going really quick. You're not. Okay, so you've got plenty of time. There's a whole 4 beats, and then there's the rest of that 4 beats to play it. As long as you strum a C or a G while that side is green, we're perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, and don't worry again if you don't quite get to that G. So this is going to go C, and then you've got 4 beats, and then G. And if you don't quite get to that G, just trying to find the G is going to make all the difference. And you might find by the end of this song that you've got it. If you haven't, you've got a week to practice. And as we've said now, we're not going to be adding any more chords for a while. We're going to be doing a few other things. So here we go. This is a chord workout, C to G. Play 1 chord. You can play more. Okay, so I hope you all found that not too bad, too painful. If you've got any comments in the chat, it's always nice. So yeah, that was C to G, and that was just changing between those two chords. This is going to be on the YouTube channel, Revoluton Arts YouTube, and you'll be able to practice this workout. So it's only a minute long. So if you did that a couple of times every day, you'd have C to G done, sorted. It'd be sorted. You'd have it sorted. And if there's going to be 3 of these workouts. So over to Adam to introduce the next one.
Now, do you know what? He's done it again. He's thrown it over to me at the point you're all going to go, oh, really? We've got to try and do that? He took the C and G one, which is the easy one, really nicely, and he's thrown me F to G. And F to G is a bit of a pig.
I don't know what you're saying, Adam. I think you're thinking I'm doing things.
Possibly. Okay. F to G. I'm not going to say it's hard. We never say it's hard, me and Phil. We're always very fussy that it's not
unfamiliar.
Just unfamiliar. It takes a bit of practice. So you're going to start with the F. Now, the reason this one is a bit more, I'm not going to say difficult, it's more unfamiliar, is because it doesn't have a kind of reference point in the same way that the G to C one does. So if you take your F, basically to get to the G, it is a complete change of all 3 fingers. Now, there are ways people think about it. You can think about putting down that G to give yourself a sort of anchor point. So put down that finger there and then move those 2 around it. You can think of it as a kind of a twist. So you turn those 2 and then put that one down. Again, you've got loads and loads and loads of time. So if you want to, you can just take both fingers off. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got that long. So if you need to just take your fingers off completely and then put them all back again, that's fine. We don't mind. It's going to work. It will fit in that space. So don't panic about it. And again, you can always come back to it later. Shall we try C to G as a chord workout?
F to G.
F to G. Why am I saying C to G? F to G.
Okay, yeah. And the other thing to remember here as well, if you want to, if you just think I'm not in this minute, I'm probably not going to get F to G. I mean, try it. Do it anyway. You should try. Always try. You can just play your new chord G and just get used to playing G, because there's a lot of mileage in just playing the right chord at the right time, getting used to playing that music at the right time. So we're going to do this now. Here we go. This is F to G workout. Did I share screen? I didn't. Oh, I did.
Yes, you did. You're fine.
God, I did that without even thinking. There you go. That was F to G.
He's trying to live out his 90s youth through
90s youth
backing. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I sent that over to Adam, and it was called F to grunge, and he just changed it and went, oh, F to G. That's fine. So it was my little pun, but he didn't want anything to do with it. But that's fine. It's fine. We're all professional here. It's good. There's no hard feelings. Right. So he's been complaining about me passing it over and being hard all the time, but now it's to me. And what are we left with? Well, we've done C to G. We've done F to G. So now what we've got to do is do all 3 one after the other. So this is going to go C, then F, then G. So we could have done a workout which was C. Yeah, good. Brilliant. That's what I like to see in the chat. Well done, Finesse. F-Y-Ness. I don't know what your actual name is, but that's what it's coming up as. So yes, that's the spirit. Much easier than you thought. And if you keep doing this, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can play these chords. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a C. Now, we've done C to F before. We don't mind that change because it's the same fingers. So we're going to start with C. Sorry, different fingers. We're going to start with C. And we're going to start with our third finger on our C. And then we're going to use our other fingers, first and second fingers, to play an F. Maybe one that doesn't disappear. Let's bop over to Adam.
There we go. You can still talk if you want, Phil. I don't mind.
Yeah, so we're going to start with our C, third fret of the bottom string, which we all know. We all know our C. And then we're going to switch to F. Now, we can use different fingers to F. This is why it's slightly more familiar, because we can use different things. There we go. Brilliant. Daniela and Sharon, thank you. I'm glad you're finding it easy. Good. Keep at it. All right, so then what you're going to do is change from F to G. Now, we've said before, there's no common notes. There's no, like, simple slide. You just have to take your fingers off and put a G down. Now, these are all the same tempo for those keen-eared. So you've got exactly the same amount of time, again, to change between all these chords. So if you could do C and F before, and you could do F and G before, and you can do G and C, you should find this not that hard. And if you want to just challenge yourself in the week, go to the YouTube channel. You can just practice C, F, and G, just this one workout. And if you did that, you'd be laughing. We are going to give you a little note at the end. But we're going to do this last workout now, C, F, and G. Everybody have a go. Do what you can. If you're just playing the C, that's great. If you do the C and the F and miss the G out, that's great. If you fumble around and don't play anything, that's fine as well. Just try your best. It can all be good. Here we go. Right, so here we go. One of that. I have to do all the digital stuff. There we go. And then we're going to play that now. Excellent work. That was really good, I think. Hopefully some of you have found that not surprisingly more easier than you thought. Somebody's just entered the waiting room. I think you might have missed the lesson, I'm afraid, David, but it's all good. Right, so you've now got 3 chords.
Yeah, now I've got to complain about this, because I'm hoping there are people watching on Facebook or in this room who've come from your Three Counties radio interview, Phil.
Yes.
And were promised live on Three Counties radio. You promised to teach them a song with 3 chords in, and we've done a warm up. But I think some people have come specially to learn how to play the song. So very quickly, you are going to need to teach them how to play.
Okay, so I promised on the radio, live on the radio, that we were going to do this song, and so now we can do it. We've got these 3 chords. You can now play La Bamba. Now the way it works, I'm going to do a really slow version, and as you practice it, you can speed it up and get more to the speed that it's going to be. So the chords are just C, F, and G. So it goes La La Bamba, C, F, G, G. Now that was a bit fast. So what you're going to do is this. It goes La La Bamba, 3, 4. So you just do 2 C's, 2 F's, and G. 2, 3, 4. And then if you speed that up, I'll do it sped up now. Here you go. This is what you're going to be practicing. It goes like this. La, la, bamba. time I knew all the words. I taught it to a year 3 class.
Rio right now, but that's lovely.
Yeah, so, but obviously what you're aiming for is this, sounding like this. Okay, now there are other chords. There are lots of chords with 3-chord pop songs. So Adam's going to teach you the next one. That was La Bamba, as heard on Three Counties Radio.
Shall I do the other one that we've decided to do with you today? This one is another straightforward one. This one's was Wild Thing, which is another classic 3 chords, which I don't know. It's Wild Thing, You Make My Heart Sing. That's as much as I know. But it's a really...
Everything is the next line.
What we'd call a riff. So it goes kind of... Oh, my ukulele's finger. It goes... It's got a slightly different rhythm, and it goes back to the F afterwards. So it goes C, C, F, F, G, G, F, F, C, C, F, F, G, G, F, F, and that gives you the riff to Wild Thing. So there are lots of things, songs like this. You could also, if you wanted to, do a bit of homework, do a bit of research. You can find there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs that use the chords C, F, and G. So if you really want to, you can also go and find some others. Next week, I think we're going to teach you a real classic, one that you're going to use. I think your hint, Phil, was that it's one you need at least once a year.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to teach you a proper classic next week.
Don't tell anyone. Right, so just to recap that, don't feel like you need to do this straight away and dive into La Bamba or dive into Wild Thing. You can just do C and then F and then G and just do it in your own time. Just practice. But just know in your head that once I've got those, I've got that song. I can play that song. It's going to be amazing. So I think we've come to an end. And I hope that everybody's enjoyed that. And I hope that people have got something from that and are now thinking, yes, I'm going to do those 3 chords and I'm going to be a rock star. Because once you've got 3 chords, you could be country stars now. 3 chords and the truth. Write yourself a country song about being in lockdown. Write yourself a blues. These are blues. You can use these for blues chords. You can do a rock song, a pop song. These your 3 chords. You're done. You don't need anything more.
No,
but
do.
Please come back next week. Okay, so we will be.
Don't forget to share. Please do like. We've got loads. We've got more people than we had last week, which is brilliant.
Yes.
But let's get even more people. We want hundreds of people. We want thousands of people. It's not just for Luton. Share it everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Loads and loads of people. If you know someone, anyone else, get on the phone, get on Facebook, whatever. Let them know about it. Get them to get a ukulele. Chamberlain Music, Octopus Ukuleles, they're still delivering, supplying ukuleles. Get a ukulele and get them here next week, joining in and playing along with us. That'd be brilliant.
Fantastic. So bye to the people on Facebook. If you're listening on Facebook, we'll see you next week. Come in, tune in again. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, Facebook.